Namaskar, Salam Alaikum, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whichever part of the world you are. Welcome to the 42nd Outreach and Knowledge Transfer webinar. We fondly call it as a OKT sessions. And today's topic is very interesting topic, artificial intelligence and its innovative applications in ESG, environment, social governance and sustainability, which will be delivered by our good friend and subject matter expert, Dr. Abhilash from UAE, Dubai. And we just want to go ahead and start the program with the virtual meeting introduction or instructions. So kindly mute your microphone or raise the hand whenever you want to speak, switch off your camera and switch on whenever you want to speak. Post your queries, comments, suggestions in the chat box. The meeting is being recorded for our future reference and for the benefit of everybody. Kindly register your name, company, designation, phone, email ID in the chat box. And I just said kindly mute. I'm not sure who is opened his mic. So please stay for a ceremony group photo. Yes, let me mute everybody. Okay, ceremony, you can apply, you can also copy and paste the meeting link and share with your friends for joining. And on the right side of the screen, right bottom of the screen, you see one QR code that takes you to the our webinar or our WhatsApp group, which is we call it as a knowledge hub. So that's another thing where you can join and share and gain a lot of knowledge. And today, I'm sure everybody is aware, all over the India or all Indian diaspora are celebrating Navaratri. And we, on behalf of J&ABHSE Foundation and J&A Global HSE Foundation, wishing you and your families a very Shubh Navaratri. May Ma Durga bless you with strength, wisdom, and prosperity. Let's celebrate the triumph of good over evil with a devotion and joy. May these 9 nights bring peace, harmony, and happiness in every heart and every home, every workplace, wherever you are working in a safe and healthy and environment-friendly working atmosphere. So we are going to have a two-part of the agenda. Agenda part one will be the basic introduction about our foundation. And we have a newsletter every month, so briefly talking about that. Then we will hand over to our subject matter experts and speaker of the day. And we have two role players from our functional committee on Mr. Ram Prasad. He's a chair for the partnership and synergy. He will be introducing the speaker. And the next one is Mr. Dinesh Kumar Paul. He is our chair for the HSC Leadership and Communications Development. So he will be taking the Q&A, Q&A moderation. Please do drop your questions or any comments in the chat box. He'll be taking all those things. So starting with the part one, we would like to have our welcome remarks from our Jitu Patel, who is sitting in Arizona. He woke up very early to attend this webinar. And with that, I would like to request Mr. Jitu Patel, who is a father of safety, we fondly call him. Out of his 80 plus years of life, 60 plus years of life he spent for the occupational health and safety, and he has been recognized by several forums. He is also a fellow of the ASSP. Sajitu?
Thank you, Ashokji. It's so kind of you to put me on top of the Mount Everest, but if I fall from there, it will be very painful. But with that, very warm welcome to everyone present and those who could not make it, but they will be sure given opportunity to review the presentation by recorded version by Ashokji. We warmly welcome you all, and starting with, if I can just mention one or two names, our honorable speaker, Mr. Abhilash Raghavan, and also joined by our dear friend and well accomplished Mr. Thomas Raghavan, my dear friend, ongoing for so many years, J.C. Sekhar from Singapore, who has done tremendous contributions in the field and ongoing, and also, as we see and heard, Mr. Dinesh Pal, who is the regional director of Toastmasters Group, in addition to his role for foundation. And you already heard Mr. Ram Prasad, who will be introducing our honored speaker today. He is also a regional director of a well-known, well-reputed insurance company in India, and my also very young and dear friend Bala, along with so many others present. Very warm welcome, and I wish we can enjoy listening to our honored speaker and create some good discussion through the moderator, our Dinesh Pal, and enjoy the rest of the OKT. Welcome and thank you very much, Ashokji.
Thank you, Jitu Saab, for the quick, recap of all the participants who are here today. And we would like to jump directly into our foundation's brief introduction. As I was telling that Mr. Jitu and myself, and with the support of so many friends, we supported several parts of the world, which little blue flags you see there. And we started our foundation to support our back in India, Bharat. We had several, as you see, this is the International Labour Organization infograph. Unfortunately, the global deaths related to industrial accidents are much higher in India. There are so many organizations in India, but we wanted to give it back something more because the concept of foundation is not there. You will understand by end of my just 6 or 7 minute speech why it is a unique. We established this foundation in the month of March 2022, particularly during the peak COVID time. It was virtual launch. Further, we expanded our activities to the global by launching the Global HSE Foundation through Mr. Rixio Medina. He is the first president of ASSP. And yeah, this is a uniqueness of our foundation. It's not a membership organization. It's completely purely charity and organization supporting the HSC profession as well as professionals. So we engage with the professional organizations, corporate organizations, academic institutions, as well as individuals. Like today, our subject matter expert, Dr. Abhilash, is giving back to the profession through this platform. So this is our activities. Basically, our mission, vision is very simple: to support the HSC profession as well as the HSC professionals. Our objectives are very, very simple, mainly to focus on advancing occupational safety and health, to support and promote occupational safety and health as a career choice among students, to inspire and develop leaders, and to provide educational development opportunities. And also, we recognize individuals, organizations, academic institutions, and through awards and honors program, we have awards and honors chair, Mr. Bala Srikant. He is coming up with some innovative ideas to fulfill this requirement. And we also conduct HSC courses, training, auditing, and consultation. And we have some MOUs with some local organizations as well. And yeah, another important thing is our recently we came up with an idea of the e-newsletter. And the idea behind this, the backbone behind this idea is Mr. Madhu Nallan Chakravarti and Dr. Lakshmi Narayan Pudachor. They both are the editorial board. And I just want to quickly go through our recent September month newsletter, how nicely it is being made. This is a newsletter you see here. It's a special series on the safety of machinery. And the featured article is the hidden cost of clouds, e-cigarettes, and reproductive health. He's a very, very highly innovative guy. So very interesting. It's available in our website. You can also go to our WhatsApp group and find the links to this. And there are very, very interesting topics are there. And you can also find good posters, where you can use in your companies. It's a free of cost. You can go to our website and use it. And this is a very interesting article because we do have a menace of the e-cigarettes. Many, many people in our company, they say that no smoking policy, we have it, but they think that e-cigarettes is not part of that. We try to educate them, but these are some useful tips and tools. We have it in this newsletter. And the most important thing is you can share your case studies in this newsletter. And you see on the left side, this is Dr. Lakshminarayan Produchur. He has been recognized as a proud of Hyderabad awards by the famous cine actor in India, and he is promoting CPR and first aid education in India, particularly through our foundation. And the aim is to reach 100,000 individuals. So that's one of the thing we have it. And this is our announcement to submit your articles and case studies and all those things. So very interesting thing we have here in the form of a newsletter. And let me go back to my slides and briefly, we had already talked about the newsletter, and we are going ahead with the part 2 of the agenda, artificial intelligence and its innovative applications in ESG and sustainability. As I said, Mr. Ram Prasad is the chair of the partnership and synergy. Mr. Jeetup Saab already indicated that he is director of a very famous insurance company in India. With that, we request Mr. Ram Prasad ji to introduce the speaker as well as the topic. Ram Prasad ji.
Good evening. Namaskar. At the very outset, I would like to confess that I have not spent the time that I require to be spent on J&A. The reason being that I have a lot of travel, almost 20 days in a month I'm out of my home. Nevertheless, the passion that I have for J&A makes me involved to the best of my ability to see that I participate in some activity or other on J&A. Now, coming to today's topic, you open the website, you open WhatsApp, you go anywhere, it is AI, AI, AI. So yesterday, for instance, I was in a video call, a Zoom call with the CEO and MD of a leading insurance company. And he says, going for next 6 months, I don't need underwriters. I don't need anybody. You key in the data, my AI will give you the premium.
Oh.
It will give you the geographic location, indicate the impact of natural calamities, impact of the nearby claims, if you give the name of the industry, and a certain few, maybe around 10 details. And he says, as the CEO and MD, I will generate a quotation for you in the next 5 minutes. Now, that is the extent of impact that AI is having across the globe. And therefore, today when we talk about ESG and sustainability, it is all the more necessary, unlike a very complicated subject like insurance and risk management. These are things which are having the global attention. And who better a person than Dr. Abhilash Raghavan, who is a subject matter expert in OSH, ESG, and most important of all, sustainability, to speak to us about this subject. Dr. Abhilash Raghavan is a seasoned expert in occupational safety and health, which is OSH, ESG, and sustainability, with over 2 decades of leadership across industries. He has led transformative initiatives in safety compliance, ESG integration, and sustainability strategy, therefore enabling organizations with global standards. Now, here I would like to interrupt and say, today when you have your 2030 goals on climate controls, the support rendered or the expertise from somebody like Dr. Abhilash Raghavan makes a lot of sense into what we are talking about today. And as J&A is focused entirely on sustainability, HSE, OSH, all the more relevance that we have somebody like an expert like Dr. Abhilash Raghavan to speak to us today. For the record, he is also a certified trainer with a PhD in environmental science and technology, and he brings a deep expertise in regulatory frameworks, risk management, which is a part of my passion, and stakeholder management with the enterprises and entrepreneurs who will widely trust him, and is widely recognized for empowering professionals in MENA and India region to drive sustainable impact through knowledge, innovation, and responsible leadership. Coming to his academic qualification, he is an active volunteer with professional organizations like IOSH, BCSP, GRP, USGBC, and others, and is passionate in mentoring and developing coaching budding HSE and sustainability professionals across the globe. I believe J&A is very lucky to have Dr. Abhilash Raghavan and our team, our youngsters, the youth, have to take advantage of this. And as usual, J&A is always open to supporting initiatives from the youngsters and the youth, because they are the next kind of leaders who have to lead this country, lead the globe, so on and so forth. Thanks you once again, and a very warm welcome to Dr. Abhilash Raghavan.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
Ramprasad ji, for that warm welcome. And you talked about a lot of things about climate change, the new kind of requirements which investors and lenders are looking at. I think we'll be touch basing a bit of that in our presentation today. You brought a very valid point, in fact. Thank you so much again for that. All right. So with that, I think I'll share my screen.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes.
Yes, we can see.
You can see the screen. Okay, 1 second.
Can put on full screen here.
I hope it is now in full screen.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. All right. So let us begin the session. And before that, I would like to thank the J&ABHSE Foundation for giving me this platform to talk about this a core topic. Special thanks to Ashok ji and Jitu Patel ji for having trust on me to talk on this particular subject. So without any ado, I'll get into the topic. So as you know, the topic for today is AI and its innovative or transformative applications in ESG and sustainability. I think all of us are hearing the term, which is the buzzword term, AI, day in and day out. I think this is a quite common kind of term that we used in our day-to-day activities, especially after the launch of ChatGPT back in late 2022. So this became a kind of a normal to every professionals. So when we talk about the applications, so AI has got wide applications in almost all the areas. So in today's presentation, we'll be focusing only on the topics related to the ESG and sustainability. And with that, we'll get into the subject. And here, when I talk about ESG and sustainability, so these are all having a lot of challenges that in the modern world that we are facing when we talk about sustainability. Just in the beginning, one of the speakers talked about the climate change, the heat stress related problems, etc. So we are all well familiar with the kind of adverse impact we are facing because of the climate change, the heat stress, the biodiversity loss, the resource scarcity. So these are all some of the traditional problems that is on our hand. And believe me, the technology like AI can be a game changer to solve most of this problem in a very innovative and systematic way. And the power of AI lies with the analyzing capacity of a wide plateau of data that is available, which a human cannot do or human cannot address in a very short span of time. So that is all the more relevant. So it is a powerful enabler for creating actionable sustainability solutions that is required for the current century. Okay, so that is just a background and an introduction about the sustainability and how it is connected with AI. So now, why are we talking about AI for sustainability? So what do you think are the areas where sustainability can be used or sustainability performance can be improved with the applications of AI? Any thoughts, any suggestions? Anyone want to
Can we
share
use the
some?
climate modeling and the risk prediction or the energy optimization?
Absolutely, absolutely. Energy optimization, energy efficiency. Very good. Well said. Perfect. So there are a lot of such areas. So we'll be going through one and the details around those. So the number one is data-driven insights. So when I say data-driven insights, so as I mentioned earlier, AI technology can extract massive amount of sustainability data when it comes to the emissions or biodiversity or even the supply chain management. So the application of AI in the sustainability with the data, you can do tremendous work. This allows actually the decision makers to act on evidence rather than assumptions, because this is one of the differentiator from the traditional kind of work process. So because data is the important aspect, right? Data is the new oil, we all say it, right? So data-driven insights. So that is actually enabled by AI. So that is one important aspect when we talk about AI application in sustainability. Next comes the predictive capacities or the predictive capabilities. So when I say predictive capabilities, so it talks about the forecasting of any kind of adverse effects or the outcomes. Like you can talk about energy demand, or when you talk about the biodiversity thing, the deforestation. So these are all some of the areas where we can predict to what extent this can have an impact. And with that, the organizations can take preventive action, save time, money, and all the more, the most important thing, resources. So these are, again, when we talk about predictive capabilities. So this is again another advantage. Then comes the next one, efficiency and optimization. So one of our friends talked about that, energy optimization. So this is very important, right? So AI identifies the inefficiency and recommends optimization across the operation. So this is one of the biggest advantage of using AI techniques. So we'll be discussing on a case study in the subsequent slides around this. And the most important aspect here is that it ensures that the organizations achieve more impact with minor or the fewer resources, and which is very critical for the sustainability. And the last but not the least, it's the real-time monitoring. So we don't have to wait for weeks or months to generate a data and do the analysis of that. This is all real-time monitoring. So it gives you constant tracking, a continuous tracking of, say, for example, like emissions, energy, biodiversity, all those aspects can be continuously tracked. And the advantage here is that if you want to intervene and to take any corrective actions, that is very much possible in this kind of technology. And this in turn makes sustainability initiatives from reactive to a proactive kind of a approach. So these are all the advantages when we talk about sustainability. So that's not the end. So AI can be applied in other areas also. So we'll take a look at those things now. The climate action. I'm sure that everyone is worried about the climate related problems, right? So we keep on hearing or keep on seeing a lot of reports, publications from renowned organizations like World Bank, World Economic Forum and all about the impact of climate change. And we most of the people who are in the Middle East or in the Indian subcontinent, so we are always already facing the brunt of this, right? The heat waves or the kind of change in the natural temperature that is actually impacting quite a lot in terms of the worker safety and productivity, right? So that is one of the important things. So when we talk about climate action, so where can be it applied? Number one, we can use it for climate modeling and for forecasting. So this will be one of the important applications of AI. So there are a lot of tools. We'll be talking about some examples also in the towards the end. But the point here is that climate modeling using AI improves accuracy and the speed of actions. And this is again an enabler not only for the government but also for the policy makers to tackle the long-term related risk. So this is one of the important aspects when it comes to climate action. Now, emissions tracking, because we all agree that the more we emit the GHGs or the carbon emissions or the greenhouse gas emissions, so the more is the global warming. So it is directly impacting the climate. So the emissions tracking using AI-powered tools, it can help to measure facilities and also the supply chains. So this is one of the other applications, and it also helps to make the organizations or the firm compliance to the local requirements. And I'm sure that a lot of countries around the world, they have started with this kind of emissions tracking. Say, for example, for UAE, in the month of May, towards the May end, they have launched an MERV program, which is mandating all the companies to measure, monitor, and record and report all the emissions related things to the government authorities. So similarly, in all other geographies also, there are a lot of such developments which is happening. So the advantage here is that it helps to maintain compliance and also the legal requirements and all the more transparency in your reporting. Because there are a lot of issues in terms of greenwashing, but if you have a very robust data backed by science or backed by reports, that will help to ensure that you are doing a transparent business and you're not polluting the environment or creating additional issues in terms of the climate risk. And next is about the renewable energy optimization. So this is again one of the crux area where AI can support. So it helps in the balance of loads, the prediction of renewable energy supply, and also to help clean the grids. We'll be discussing about a case study, especially from UAE, on this aspect also, how AI is being used in this renewable energy optimization by a very prominent company. So we'll discuss about that. And the last one is about the extreme weather predictions. So AI can predict extreme weather conditions like your storms, hurricanes, floods with high percentage of accuracy. So this gives the communities and also the population and governments or authorities to prepare and to minimize damage. So this is again one of the important advantages of having AI in the climate action. So if you look at the recent case of the flooding in Texas, so this is again an important kind of problem that is exacerbated by the climate related change, right? So these are all because of the climate problems, right? So AI can support in predicting those things. So now there is a important study by PricewaterhouseCoopers, very recent study. So it says that this application of early warning system can save at least around 3,000 lives and resulting in 1.2 million people making homeless and also it can mitigate a direct cost of 14 million US dollar by 2030. So this is a data which is available as part of a recent study from PwC. So all this kind of research clearly indicates that there is a lot of weightage that we are giving on the early warning systems prediction. So now moving to the energy efficiency. So this is again another important area. So I wanted to give a little emphasis here because we all talk about the energy optimization and all. So one of the important aspect here is on the smart grids and the demand forecasting. So the conventional way of doing is it with the local softwares and all for the demand forecasting. But if we integrate AI into this technology, so it can effectively manage, and it also can help you to avoid unforeseen blackouts and also to ensure a reliable and credible and efficient grid power all the time. And we all remember the case of Spain, where they had a blackout very recently. So I think this all calls for, a kind of implementation of this kind of technology in our power distribution system. And secondly, I want to talk about energy audits. So this is one of the important things that we do in our facilities, be it a small or a bigger one. So we want to save each and every penny that is going as waste from the industry or from our activities and operations. So the energy audits is something that we do very rigorously in energy intensive industries. So AI can really help doing wonders in terms of energy auditing. So it can identify inefficiency and it can also propose solutions. So which can be again controlled by the human intervention. And this also can avoid the manual delays in the typical conventional energy auditing process. And it also helps in save time and also the resources. Again, important aspect. When we talk about the automation, so AI powering the building automation, we all know that most of the buildings are managed by the building management system. So the building automation enabled by smart AI equipments, especially in terms of the HVAC systems. So this can also give a lot of advantage in terms of efficient operations. And it also reduces cost. And when we consume lesser energy, it invariably means that we are producing lesser emissions. So it is a kind of a reciprocal or a kind of a ripple effect. And again, optimizing industrial processes. So this is also an area where AI can support the industrial processes to streamline activities, production, and unnecessarily usage of energy, equipments, etc. So this again comes to the point of savings and also lowers the overall carbon footprint that is coming from that particular industry. So these are all the applications when you talk about energy efficiency and AI. So this is a case, as you can see in the screen. So there is a study done by Siemens, and they have seen that it has actually improved the efficiency by 10% and also the profitability by 20% by applying this kind of energy efficiency initiatives. So Siemens is one of the, forerunner in terms of providing energy efficient solutions. So that's why I picked that example. Now coming to the next area, which is the environmental protection. So many of us are very concerned about the damage that is causing to the environment. So when we talk about that, one of the important things that comes is on the biodiversity protection. So here, the AI technology the powered drones with AI sensors and all, that can track species and habitats in real time. So this will take care of any kind of species that we are distracting or we are destroying as part of any human intervention. So biodiversity monitoring is one of the critical areas where AI can support. And it also is something that can help you to conserve the ecosystem and to protect biodiversity. Next comes the waste segregation and recycling automation. So I'm sure that most of you might have seen an AI-powered bin. So there is a video which is there quite, prominent in all the social platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, and all. So where a bin will be whatever is going inside the bin has got an AI-powered facility that will actually segregate the kind of waste that is getting dropped in that particular bin. And accordingly, it will collect and take required kind of recycling or disposal kind of an action. So this is one of the applications when it comes to waste segregation and automating the recycling. All right. So again, AI can use in pollution detection. So when I say pollution detection, it applies to all the areas like air, water, soil, etc. And not only that, it can also help in marine pollution detection. So every now and then we hear of a shipwreckage or leakage of oil, or the ship or the container carrying crude catch fire, and these kind of issues we keep on hearing. So the detection, the early detection of pollution, this is again something that can be used by the application of AI. And last, again, the early warning systems that I already mentioned about the wildlife fires or the natural calamities, the physical risk like floods, floodings, hurricanes, storms, all those kind of things can be detected on a very early stage. And faster warning means faster response. And that eventually helps to have lesser damage to the pollution, to the population, as well as to the infrastructure. So that's about the environmental protection. And now coming to another area. So this is talking about the sustainable agriculture. So we keep on using the word sustainable to each and every aspect now. So one of the interesting areas is sustainable agriculture, which means we do activities in a very sustainable manner. So one application, direct application here is on precision farming. So here the AI provides farmers with data-driven reports of irrigation, the fertilization needs, and also it also gives the planting advice. What kind of the planting can be used in particular kind of a situation. And this again reduces waste. So the predictive farming or the precision farming is something that is used in sustainable agriculture. And again, crop yield prediction. So AI can predict the yield based on various factors like soil, the weather conditions, the historical data, the precipitation levels. So all those things can be collated, and basis that AI can give you prediction about the yield that is coming from particular kind of crops. So this is again another important area. Pest and disease detection. Everyone agrees that agriculture is more prone to the attack of pest, because we keep on hearing that, especially in India, we keep on hearing this because of the mass pest manifestations. So there are a lot of damage that can happen to the crops. So this pest and the disease detection can be used by sustainable agriculture employing AI. So this is again another application. And the last one is reducing the resource waste. which essentially means that optimizing the kind of water usage for the irrigation and also the kind of fertilizers that we use for getting the required output. Because many times the farmers, they don't have the idea of how much is the kind of fertilizers needed for this particular area of crops. So they do it on a very random basis. So which is again adding additional waste, and also the fertilizers, as everyone know, it will also contaminate and pollute as part of the biomagnification. So these are all something connected with sustainable agriculture and AI. An important aspect again where AI can support is on the sustainable finance and ESG. I think nowadays all the lending activities which are happening by the multilateral banks and the global corporations, these are all based on sustainable finance framework and principles. So here, ESG data, or the environmental, social, and governance data, is a critical element. So all the AI, all this data is getting processed by way of ESG softwares. And it actually helps you to identify risk, opportunities, as well as trends. And this again improves the kind of investment strategies that a lender is using. Green investment monitoring. So we keep on hearing a lot of term called green investment, green bonds, sustainability bonds, sustainability linked bonds. So a lot of these things are available. These are all market instruments now, very prominent. So it gives an incentives or subsidies to the kind of payback that is given back to the lender. So the green investments monitoring is also employed or also utilized by the application of AI. So it also helps to ensure that the capital flow is properly and genuinely going for green activities or the green or sustainable projects. Because many times this is one of the bottlenecks that we see. People take loan for green projects, but at the end, that is being diverted for other projects and other purposes. So this kind of tools, AI control tools, can help to track these kind of usage or utilization of such funds. And again, automated sustainability reporting. So we all agree that now the importance of the non-financial reporting, such as the sustainability reports, is very prominent, especially with the introduction of the global standards like IFRS, S1, S2, etc. So this is all the more become very relevant to the corporations. So the sustainability reporting using AI is again another kind of advantageous activity which AI can support. And finally, the risk management and compliance. So AI can identify ESG related risk. So we talked about the opportunities. So similarly, the ESG risk can also be identified in the beginning, like the impact of any transition risk, such as the policy shift or the regulatory shift. So all these things can be tracked on a very real-time manner by using risk management and compliance tools employed in sustainable finance ecosystems. Again, circular economy. So this is again another important aspect. So we all know the significance of circular economy these days. It is like reducing the usage of product. It all emphasizes the reusing kind of a concept. So here, one of the important aspect here is the material tracking. So whatever is coming as a raw material or as a product, how are we tracking the end of life cycle of that particular product? So this is all enabled by AI. And it helps to have a visibility of the life cycle impacts of all the products. So all the electronics manufacturers, they're widely using this kind of smart material tracking these days. And also product lifecycle optimization. This is again another kind of area where AI can be deployed in circular economy. So it also helps to identify the predictive maintenance. So AI can help in predictive maintenance, and it also helps to increase the efficiency and the downtime. Again, AI-driven recycling systems, so automatic recycling systems, and also that will help to recover the valuable resources. So whatever is getting recycled goes back again to the economy, right? So it is being consumed again, and eventually that will reduce the quantity of waste that is getting generated. And finally, enabling sustainable supply chains. So this is one of the very, I would say, headache for any ESG professional in the FMCG industry, because how do we track the supply chain sustainability? It is a big kind of an area. So enabling sustainability in the supply chain. So that is where all the scope 3 emissions comes into play. So this AI can help you in that area as well. And finally, I just want to talk about two important case studies on the kind of AI impact on sustainability. So number one, I picked up an example. So there is no criteria used. I've randomly picked this 9. There are plenty of prominent AI, AI utilized companies around the MENA, India, and the European region. But I picked up Masdar because they are doing quite a lot of work in the renewable energy sector. And they are helping to accelerate the decarbonization across the renewable energy production like the solar, wind, and green hydrogen projects. And one of the report that I reviewed, so it clearly gives an indication that AI in Masdar, so one of the important thing is predictive analytics. We talked about the predictive analytics, smart grid optimization. So this will help to balance the intermittent supply vis-a-vis the demand, and AI-enabled digital twins for energy storage and infrastructure efficiency. So Masdar is doing a lot of work on BESS, battery storage systems. And they also do work on CCUS and all. So these are all some of the things that they're doing. And this is actually giving high impact on the clean energy transition, because UAE is predominantly an oil dependent economy, but there's a lot of efforts going on to decarbonize the oil and gas industry there. And these are all the initiatives which are being taken as part of that. Now coming to another case study here. So this is about Tata Consulting Engineers. So I'm sure that everyone knows this name. It's TCE. And they have done AI adoption for the sustainable engineering. So they have a principle of integrating AI with circularity and sustainability, especially on the infrastructure and the utilities segments. And here they have used AI for the design and simulation, predictive maintenance in the hydrocarbon and the power plants, and also digital twins and Internet of Technologies, Internet of Things for smarter grids. IoT and the blockchain enabled AI integration is what is happening with companies like TCE. And the impact that is coming out here is the high energy efficiency, and also it is supporting the net zero transition of Tata Group by 2045. So please remember this 2045, because we in India, we are talking about net zero by 2070, right? But here Tata is taking a lot of initiatives in bringing it many decades before the country target of 2070. Okay, so these are all the initiatives which are happening here. And moving to some of the tools related to the ESG and sustainability. So these all data has been sourced from the internet, and from other reports and all. So when I looked at this, there are n number of tools which are being currently used, and you all agree that it's a very evolving kind of a field. When we start in the beginning, it's all with the common tool called ChatGPT, but later, no, every day in and day out, there are new tools that is coming out. So I've listed out some of the high impact tools which are giving results with some of the corporations and multinationals. So one of the important tool here is Jenny. So it is a tool that is used by companies like KPMG, etc. And this is primarily used in the building management systems, where they can optimize the HVAC in the real estate and also helps to reduce the cost, and also most importantly to ensure the comfort and also the sustainability goals of the organization. So this is widely used in countries like Saudi Arabia, because this information I picked out from a report from Saudi Arabia. There is one more tool called Carbon Ray. So this is primarily used in the cement and industrial, cement related sectors primarily. So here there are a lot of heavy industry partners which are there, which is the hard to abate industries. They are using this tool. And there is one more tool called Open Climate Fix. So here the AI is able to enable the renewable energy forecasting and also to help the clean energy integration. And this is actually supporting the reliance on the fossil energy backup. So this tool is very niche kind of a thing that is used in most of the companies in the UK. So Open Climate Fix, this is one thing. And Grey Parrot. So this is another tool which is used in the waste recycling automation. So this is an important tool which is used in the circular economy when it comes to the waste management. Sustainable lens. So this is used by NASDAQ, the stock exchanges. So they use this tool. So AI-assisted sustainability reporting, that's what is the benefit of using this particular tool. And there is something called as MatterSim and Aurora. So this is used by Microsoft. And this is again used for advanced climate prediction. Sparrow, which is again another tool, which is, as the name says, it is primarily used in the biodiversity and the species protection. And it is a tool used by Microsoft and some of the global partners. And EOI has a tool called Responsible AI Framework. So this is a very internal to EOI. And this is primarily helping to embed sustainability into the governance system. And there is one more called Fortica Responsible AI Principles. It is used by the Spanish Business Council. Few more tools are there, like IFSC Melina. So this is one thing which I recently saw with some of the reports from IFC, the World Bank International Financial Corporation. The IFC talks about the tool called IFC Melina. So this is actually helping. It's an NLP, which is nothing but a natural language processing tool. So this can vast unstructured ESG reports, and that will actually help to give kind of risk signals to the investor, because we all know that IFC is a global fund manager. They're investors primarily. So this tool is helping them to evaluate the risk levels of their portfolio companies. Siemens Turbine AI. So this we already talked in the earlier slide. So it is again to optimize the efficiency and primarily used in the wind assets, in the wind turbine systems. So Siemens Turbine AI. There is one more called IBM Green Zone. So this will help to predict and manage air pollution. And Microsoft has another tool for the wildlife monitoring, which is called as bioacoustics. So these are all used in some of the natural related projects or biodiversity identifications, etc. E4 wall tool chain. So this is early warning, and also it also gives you an indication of population at risk. So this is one kind of tools used by some of the partners of United Nations. And A for good Eureka. So this is again another tool we used prominently. And A reporting co-pilots. So this is an enterprise tool again used by exchanges and helps to prepare sustainability reporting. And waste CV, as we saw earlier, like a gray parrot kind of a thing. So this is an automatic recycling kind of a tool, and it's also used in the detection of contamination, and also to help improve the recovery rates from the waste. And it also helped the material recovery facilities to monetize and also to improve quality, and most importantly, to reduce the load on landfill. So this is a tool that they are using, waste CV. All right, so I'll talk about the challenges and ethical considerations. So now that we all know that AI has got a lot of advantages, but of course, any positive things comes with a negative aspect as well. So there are challenges and ethical considerations. So there are plenty of those, but for the benefit of our topic, so I've only picked up some of the most prominent things. Number one is the data privacy, because any data which is getting fed to the AI tools, we don't have any control. We don't know how it is being processed internally. We don't know who else has got access to those kind of information. The problem is that we don't have a AI data related regulations in effect in most of the geographies. So that is one of the important aspects. So data privacy, and also the protecting the data and security, because stakeholder trust is very important. So we don't want our company information going out, which get uploaded into a ChatGPT or Copilot or anything of that sort, get leaked into the market and create adverse business impacts. So this is one area of concern. And secondly, on the green AI versus the carbon footprint. So when I say green AI, is nothing connected with green here, but it is all the kind of energy that is being used by AI to run its applications. It is enormous. AI takes a lot of energy, a lot of water, and this all create a kind of a footprint which is unimaginable. So there are a lot of work happening in this area also, especially in US and all, and the data center management, etc. There are a lot of things happening on this. So this is again another concern. Algorithmic bias. So the bias of AI models, which talks about the fairness, inclusivity, etc., is something which is a problem, because if we depend or rely completely on AI, there will be sometimes a bias in the algorithm. So the AI sometimes can create errors. So if you look at ChatGPT, on the bottom it says AI can make errors. So please do your own research to collaborate or corroborate your findings. All right, so that is the kind of challenge. And governance frameworks, I already mentioned, there are not many geographies which has got a framework exclusively on AI related data processing. So there is one which is there. I mean, as again, UAE has adopted a UAE charter way back in 2024. So that is one of the prominent thing, which is actually, helping the other regions and geographies to develop a kind of similar structure of governance processes. So Europe already have got, and Europe has already having GDFR, but they are integrating the AI related stuff. Australia is coming up with a regulation very soon. So a lot of development is happening in that area as well. So we are hoping something good happen in short span of time. And to conclude on this, so I want to just mention that A is a catalyst and that can trigger progress towards the sustainability transformation and also to have our sustainable development goals met by 2030. That is one of the important aspects. And it unlocks insights and efficiency at scale. Again, collaboration across sectors is very important. So AI requires massive collaboration between different stakeholders like government, business, communities. So the point is that partnership is very key for scaling operations and solutions when it comes to AI. I think this is the closing comment. So I'll stop here and I'll hand over back to Ashok ji. If there are any questions which we want to discuss, so the floor is open for any questions.
You are muted, Ashok ji. Ashok ji, you are muted.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Abhilash, and it was an enlightening presentation. It's just a bird's eye view, I can say. There are a lot of information needs to be shared. So we have some questions. I think today we have a Q&A moderator, Mr. Dinesh Kumar Paul. He's our chair for HSE Communications and Leadership Skills. Dinesh ji, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Ashok ji. And first of all, thank you to our presenter, Dr. Abhilash Raghavan. What I learned actually, all this presentation before I put up the questions from the audience. In short, if I say AI is not just a tool for efficiency, it is becoming a catalyst for sustainable development, aligning businesses with ESG goals while creating a measurable impact. Thank you very much for such beautiful presentation and very informative. So let me open the floor for the audience. There was before in the chat. Let me scroll the chat. Give me a second.
Good evening, Dinesh.
Question.
I have a question.
Sir, just a bit, sir. I will give you a chance. Sir. Let me finish the first question I received in the chat. Then I will finish the chat question. Then I will ask to just raise first virtual hand. Whoever want to ask the question, then start the speaking. Thank you very much. First question was from one of the trustee, Ashok Sarji. How accurate is the climate forecasting using AI than through conventional forecasting? Abhilash ji?
Yes. So if you talk about a percentage kind of a thing, I would say that the accuracy has gone more than around 75%. So that is what I can say, because there are no such kind of studies, and it's a very great question, in fact, because we use AI, quite a lot in terms of the climate risk assessments. But the point is that there are not many studies which gives a comparison of the traditional thing versus the new implementation of AI techniques. But my understanding and my take is that it's at least around 75% improvement than the conventional kind of predictions. Because earlier, if you look at the kind of predictions, like say, for example, the precipitation level. So I think we can relate. People in India, especially, in the news channel, they towards the end they have a session. They will talk a bit about the climate, the weather data, weather information. So they'll say that okay, there'll be chances of rain on Mumbai on this and this time and all. But many times what will happen is that these predictions, I'm talking about 10, 15 years before. So there will not be any rain on that particular day, which means the prediction efficiency was not that great. But now the case has reversed. And I can give you an example of the recent Texas flooding. So the prediction was very clear. And I mean, the early warning systems worked very well. And because of that, the authorities were able to mobilize quite a lot of population from that affected areas. I forgot the name of that river. So on the beds of both the river, which is flowing in mid of the Texas, so most of the populations were evacuated here, I mean, on the early warning indications. So this is really helping. And I would say that the precision was so accurate and it helped to remove people and also thereby reducing the casualty. Thank you. I hope
Thank you.
I've tried to answer it.
One more quick question.
Yes,
Dr.
Dinesh.
Abhilash.
Yes, Dinesh.
These AI tools are free to use or on payment basis?
All right. Well, that's a great question again. And so many of these tools, they have a basic versions. When we talk about climate-related tools, we have a basic versions, and there is an enterprise version, which will actually process quite a lot of data. So there are free tools, I mean, which has got limited kind of options available. Like, say, for example, in ChatGPT also, we have the free version as well as the paid version. So similar way, there are tools which are available. And I can say that most of this has got limited usage in the free version.
Got it.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you. So next question also from the audience.
Yes,
But
please.
they write, if you can see in the chat, Dr. Abhilash, they can we go more deep into AI-powered energy audit, how it happens, and any software or AI-driven CCTV equipment like that? Shall I
Yes.
post again chat?
No, I can see that. I can see that question here. So it says, I think it's from Rubesh Verma. So Rubeshji, actually, there are a lot of tools which are used in that particular kind of an application. I mentioned the case of Tata Consultancy Engineers. So they have, some of them, they have developed their own kind of in-house tools and softwares. Okay. And AI-driven CCTVs and all. So these are quite common these days. If you talk about, I don't know where you're located, if you are in the Middle East, so all these radars which are there in for tracking the traffic violations. So these are all AI-enabled cameras, which means it can go to the extent of even looking whether he's really clipping the seatbelt or is it just put just like that. Okay, so is it really hooked or not? So a lot of such minute levels can be monitored by using AI-driven cameras. So this is being widely used. There are plenty of things. And AI-powered equipment. So this is where, again, the usage, the combination of IoTs and blockchain powered by AI will help you to monitor the kind of parameters which are there in the field. So we don't have to go to an equipment and to monitor or check the temperature there. So there are AI-powered sensors which are there that can give you very precise information from the field. So this is also available. And similarly for the energy consumptions. So a lot of such things are available in the market. 100% correct.
Thank you very much. Ashokji, how much more time we have to for the question answer session?
10 minutes, sir. 10 minutes.
10 minutes more. Okay, thank you very much. So another thing, I request you just stop the share screen for better interaction with the audience. So I open the floor and we have in the betting list our respected Mr. Lakshmi Narayan Ji, please. You can ask directly to your question to our presenter.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for that wonderful presentation, Dr. Raghavan. I am Dr.
Thank you,
Lakshmi
sir.
Narayan, a medical doctor.
Okay, great.
I had two questions actually. One thing was about the AI, which I've already answered. Okay, the different AI tools and all that. I don't want anything to know more about it. But the second thing is related to the ESG in particular. We hear a lot of environmental pollution things about today, particularly about plastic soup that we are talking, the ocean pollutants. In fact, wherever, I mean, I have traveled widely, I have seen huge statues, creative artwork created by what you call Japanese art, which is called as Yorogawa art. Okay, of a giant fish and a giant whale in the European countries. So, which is depicting actually the ocean pollutants. What is your take on that? I would like to know that.
Yes, yes. And we touch based on very short on this marine pollution related things. But to answer your specific question, no, on these kind of things. So the plastic monitoring also, I mean, when we talk about marine pollution, so plastic, as you rightly pointed out, is one of the important kind of pollutant which is there in the thing. And we have seen of late, no, a lot of issues in terms of the microplastics. It's not only the plastics, the microplastics which get, consumed by the fish and which eventually come back to the human beings as part of the bioaccumulation process. So these kind of things, no, these are all in areas where the plastic, the marine pollution related AI sensors can track. It's not only the one particular element, but we can customize that AI tool based on the target kind of pollutants. That option, that kind of programming possibility is available. So it's again, yes, it's again based on the algorithm that we are making, that we are preparing. I'm not an expert in Python and all. I have only the basic knowledge. Okay, so
I know, of course, we are seeing a lot of micro plastics also, pollutants. But of course, the artwork which is created was of the macro thing, like a lot of what you call plastic cans and jerry cans and whatever reach the ocean and the rivers. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good thing. Thank you for the answer.
Yeah. Well, sir, but Japan does not have any kind of regulations or policies to avoid these kind of things, because I recollect immediately of our Ganesha Visarjan, no, in India. So we cannot have any chemically prepared Ganesha which can be, immersed in any water bodies. So I hope similar kind of, and Japan being a very advanced economy, so I believe there should be something which is there, but still it is neglected or ignored.
Yeah, but actually the artwork is created with the help of a Japanese technique called Yorogawa technique.
Okay.
Which is actually depicts the state of our oceans.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So since the floor is open, if anyone other have the question, first please switch on your camera, then you raise your virtual hand before speaking.
Are you giving me opportunity, Dinesh ji?
Sure, sir. Sure.
As Dr. Abhilash knows that I'm an old man and old people resist change, which is a known fact. And they are also very emotional, which Dr. Lakshmi Narayan will endorse that. And with that thinking and background, I often read and also come across lots of bombardment with WhatsApp video clips, which are created by artificial intelligence and causing a lot of concern, sometimes misleading the people in the world. So my thinking is that because I read all of these things, there are a lot of advantages, like you just mentioned beautifully, outstanding presentation with a lot of insight. But at the same token, there is also some fear that there may be some impact by increasing unemployment in the world because of artificial intelligence application. And that causes me concern. And I'm sure Prime Minister Modi, who is all for digital world, but he must be also thinking, because he is the father and the leader of 1.45 billion people. So if the increase in unemployment happens, the bread and butter on the dining table for children will be difficult. What is your opinion and thinking on this, more like a humanitarian thinking? Please.
So that's a very, very difficult question. But I'll share my perspective anyway. But you brought in a very very critical aspect, because everyone these days are talking about the goodness of AI, and I read an article called AI for Good, so which talks about a lot of information, etc., etc. But
I do agree with you that it is
yeah.
a very complex thing involved.
Yes,
But
yes.
I just thought that maybe because you are an expert in the technology involving AI, you may also have come across what I just shared with you, and
Yes.
Just wanted to learn, and like a heart to heart, that do you feel that there is a cause for concern?
Yes, of course, there is a cause of concern. When we talk about AI, so as an environmental conscious person or a passionate person in environment, so one of the key thing that I would say is on the negative impact of AI on the environment, and primarily on the energy consumption. So it is approximately around 30%. If you talk about the advantage versus the disadvantage, the advantage is 70% and the disadvantage is 30%.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So that is there, sir. That's there. And again, this will be addressed because, as we all know, this is an evolving area, and there are not kind of policies or systems that are established at the moment. So it's an evolving field, but of course, I am hopeful and I am optimistic that there'll be good kind of policies and frameworks that will come to have the better usage of AI, because AI is misleading also. There people can manipulate a lot of things. And some of the videos, we prima facie, we see that it's real. But when you do a deep dive, we can make out that no, this is fake, it's AI generated. And now each and everything we are looking in a suspicious eye. All right. So I'm hoping to get it improved. And,
Thank you.
And also on the job related aspect you mentioned, on a technical point of view, on a motivation point of view, we tell people that AI will support the work or the productivity. But definitely there is a recent article which is done released by WEF. It says that around 30% of the job loss is expected by 2030 because of AI, especially in critical kind of work environment. And there is a recent article by McKinsey also that also clearly says that there is a negative impact on the employability of the people who are coming with a traditional kind of background. So that is a challenge, sir.
Sir, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to take one question, Ashokji, if there is the time.
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. Point of view, the governance for the AI. And since you are very expert, I am not that much using only my limited chatbot only. So can AI drive-in compliance tools fully replace the human oversight in governance?
No, my take is that it is actually complementing your effort. Actually, AI will complement your effort. It will actually give you an assistance. But end of the day, without human intervention, especially when it comes to regulatory or critical decision-making things, So we have to have that kind of a human-centered approach. So that is my take, sir, because that's very important, because there are certain things which were, I mean, AI will give you a lot of inputs, but we have to have a kind of balance also.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
With that, I think there is no question more. So I will hand over back stage to the Ashokji. Over to you. And thank you once again, Dr. Abhilash, for
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dinesh.
Yeah, thank you, Dinesh ji, for conducting the Q&A session nicely, as usual. And with this, I would like to appreciate our subject matter expert, Dr. Abhilash Raghavanji. Just a virtual celebration or virtual certificate, Dr. Ji.
Thank you.
On behalf of our foundations. Jitu Saab, would you like to say anything?
I think, Ashokji, I've said it enough, but at the same token, I would say that the presentation by Dr. Raghavan was outstanding, very informative, very useful to the industries, to the fraternity of HSC or HSSE. And I can only just say that he gave some insights, starting from climate action with segmenting in a very systematic, professional manner. And he even provided some tools driving ESG and sustainability, and many things he even covered in his presentation. Especially, it was more touching to me on an agricultural application that he touched base. And with that, I think I will just say quickly and briefly that Dr. Raghavan, I was pleasantly surprised by one of my seniors member, female, giving me officially in that meeting some white box, which is, I can, if you can see it, I can show you, in which the artificial intelligence application was involved. On the book that I have written, and it is on Amazon available, What We Give. And this lady, when she read, she made some notes, and then she made some pictures out of it, and then sent it to me or presented to me, like I just showed you that white box full of those pictures, and that made me to cry. My college days, university days in England, my professor who became the knighted by Her Majesty the Queen who died, and all those things that in my book, she made that and he gave me. And where I started my life outside in India, in Switzerland, working for Sandoz, that's building itself after 60 years, she gave it to me. So what I'm saying is, Dr. Raghavan, that application has a lot of advantages, definitely. And that really made 1 hour presentation in my senior group, which are all well accomplished. Ashokji, Dr. LPG, RPG, all knows it. So my point here is that you did an outstanding job of educating an old man like me and many others who are on our OKT. And Ashokji will share the recorded version with your permission to those who could not make it. And we thank you for your presentation, sharing the knowledge, which is the outreach of knowledge transfer, which is the name Ashokji gave. And for that, we present this hypothetical virtual certificate of appreciation. Please accept it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I'm really grateful for your kind words. And also, it's my pleasure to be part of such a eminent, professionals, stalwarts in the field. So I carry a very high level of respect to all of you. And I keep on learning a lot of things from Ashokji, quite a lot. So I think it's a wonderful platform. And I'm happy that it's beneficial to the J&ABHSE Foundation and also to the OKT community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Raghavanji. And we have 3 minutes left for closing, but those 3 minutes I would like to use to give some updates. So this is our scholarship program, which is already last date is already completed, and we'll be announcing in the next OKT. And our scholarship, our student scholarship chair, Professor Ramana, and Dr. Lakshmi Narayan, both have been working very hard to spread this news, and we got good number of nominations. We'll be reviewing together by the review committee and announcing in the next month OKT. And these are our financial donors, and we would like to thank them. And these are our knowledge ambassadors. So Thomas Raghavan is one recently introduced into this, and Dr. Ravilash also will be showcasing here. And these are our WhatsApp group ambassadors. And there are so much governance body and functional committee chairs are there. Another important thing, I was talking to Thomas Raghavan before, the next OKT will be focusing on the HSE management in world-class international airport by a case study by Mr. Appireddy Srinivas Reddy, head EHS Noida International Airport, India. And with that, we would like to conclude and thank you, everybody. And this is our foundation's WhatsApp group. These are our account details. You are welcome to contribute for supporting the student fraternity in line with our objectives. This is our global foundation account details. You are welcome to contribute for that as well. This is our flip book where activities of all the things are being shown here. And with that, we would like to thank everybody for joining today. As Mr. Jitu always says, let's take a picture. So please open your cameras. I know a lot of people already left, but whoever is there, we would like to thank them for being there here. And let's take a picture. And Professor Ramana is there. I'm not sure. JC is sleeping. Murali TR, and yes, Appireddy Srinivas Reddy is there. Lakshmi Narayan for the tour. Let me count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. So I just took the picture. Thank you very much for joining today. With that, let me stop the recording and